Hopefully I'm live now. Let's see. It's working! Okay. And hopefully everything is set up all right. Let's see. I'm gonna share this with people. Maybe. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna get to outlining my characters, and it's gonna be lovely. And thank you for joining me. And Kachoo is screaming. He'll probably jump up here at some point very soon. I hope we get some nice keyboard ASMR here and that everyone likes it. If my computer decides to load. Oopsie. Doing character profiling. Oh my gosh, let's see. Kachoo, if you want to jump up, you can jump up. Come on. I believe in you. Or do you want help? There he is. The floof. Already intruding. One of these days I'll learn how to write exactly what this stream is about, but I only know how to do it from the title. So we shall see. Yes, that's exactly how it is. Kachoo show, guest starring Iona Wayland. Woo, your fans love you. Oh, what a squishy faced boy. What's everyone working on today? I would love to know. Let's see if you can see this guy. There we go. Well, now he's hiding his face. But, hello, Sparrow Writer. Welcome. I want to know what everyone's working on today, if they are working on anything. I'm going to be doing some character sheets and some character development. I have a tighter understanding of the plot now, so that's good, because last time I was struggling with adding conflict, and now I have the conflict. I'm helping my husband with job applications at the moment. Nice. Job applications can be a little grueling, so I like that you're doing it together as a team, because that is lovely, and it helps it go by a little easier too. That is wonderful. Check something. I like how many people are trying out Twitch for the first time. Because I too am trying out Twitch for the first time. Yeah, they can be, especially when you're playing for just about everything. I definitely can understand that. I've been in a slightly similar boat just because I'm trying to figure out what, we're doing. I think I'm going to start the next chapter of my work in progress, in which my MC and her bestie are going to convince their older companions to go on a journey together. I love that. Oh, Kachoo is back. I thought he wanted down because he kept twirling around, but he's just here being a menace. Pick where you want your tail to be, sir. There we go. Okay, cool. And Thomas is going to start the next chapter of your work in progress, and in which my MC and her bestie... Oh, I already read that. I was like, wow, my short term. I think that's awesome. He only wants down until he's down, and then he wants up. Yes, okay, thank you for liking my background design. Not only did it take me like 2 weeks or a week, maybe it's like a week and a half, to figure out how to make the background vibe happen. But I also have curated art behind me, and so I have the haunted, you can't really see them though, that's why there's the haunted oh my god, wrong side, there's the haunted monster dolls and the like vibey owletta type of person creature, and then over here we have all kinds of animals and creatures with a black background, and then like a creature in the foreground. Some are silly, like the cowboy cat or like the king bear, but others are just like you know, regular. I really like this one, even though you can't really see it, where it's someone holding a book and it has wildflowers coming out of it. I think it's really pretty. And then of course Ashes is right here, so that's exciting. Yeah, I like the owl and the cat in the hat. I think it's great. I got this one from oh my gosh, this owl one from an antique store that I went to with my babo recently. So that was really cool, and that's kind of what started the whole thing, because I was like, I can have a cool background. I can just get like art as I find it. So I kind of curated. I say curated as if it wasn't like, some are from vintage places and some are from like antique places and some are from like stores like Michael's, basically. So craft stores, but it's okay. Okay, Kachoo, I love your hugs so much, but I don't want them right now. Okay, there we go. But that's fun. Yay, we're all gonna be all productive together. I like how the chat space looks like for a spot for a tarot card. Thank you. I thought I like that look too, and so I'm glad that you see the vision. You see the vision. I found one of Kachoo's whiskers. I don't know if you can. Hold on. No, that doesn't help. You can see that, but I feel like I'm supposed to do something with one of them. I'm just gonna save it. I don't know if I should make a wish on it or something. What's your wish, Kachoo? You're just losing whiskers. Very cool. Oh my gosh, thanks HB Lee for making a Twitch account. There's a way to like follow or subscribe or something, and I don't know the difference, but there's a way you can like save it. And this is honestly like my 5th or 6th time on Twitch, so I totally get the like, I'm here, and it makes you make an account to comment and stuff, so I appreciate you going through the trouble to do that. Oh my gosh, they made a pincushion with their cat's lost whiskers. Oh, that's so funny. That's really cool. Kind of gross and kind of cool at the same time. Art. Crafts. It's always supposed to be kind of cool and kind of gross, I think. This is exciting. I'm so thankful everyone is here. I'm always amazed at how many people will like show up and write together. Oh my gosh. Hello, friend. Also, for anyone asking how long this will be, because I think there were some that were asking, it's as long as my babo sleeps, so probably an hour, and we're just gonna see what we can get done in an hour, and I think that's pretty good. Okay, just gonna go straight into kicking Kachoo out. Oh, don't fall. Sometimes when he protests, he'll just like wiggle and plop, but yeah, our community is pretty cool. It's very supportive, and like there are so many learning curves when it comes to writing, and it's the only place I've ever been in where I've been able to have like a public learning curve and then not feel like I'm a horrible person. Like, I don't know, like where like there was something I was writing about that like wasn't really my story to tell. It was about like a religion I don't have experience with, stuff like that, and I remember being like, oh, I want to represent this, and it's kind of like, well, that does happen, but it's not really your story to tell. I'm like, you're totally right. And I just felt fine. And any other time, I think I would have felt like really awful having that learning curve. And maybe it's part of being like neurodivergent or something. But also Cranberry's going nuts. I don't know what's happening with the kitties. they don't want me to be productive. But any other space I've ever had a learning curve in, I've either felt really stupid or like really awful. And even though it's just a normal part of being a person, and it's really cool that the CC community is just so like supportive of each other and also super patient and like willing to learn too. Okay, you can be up, but if you don't settle, you're gonna get fired. I'm gonna kick you totally out of the room. He promises. Sure. We'll see. I woke up in the middle of the night last night to the sound of voices from my office. That is horrifying. Turned out my PC had rebooted randomly, restarted my browser, which automatically played the YouTube video it was on. That's hilarious. That's horrible. I would have, like... I would have pooped myself. I would have been like, who's in my house? Yeah, aside from the initial, oh shit, embarrassment of the moment, I don't get nearly as ashamed when I make beginner mistakes and I'm not too afraid. Yeah, that's because, like, I think it's normal to feel like, oh god, like, oh no. But then it's like, oh, okay, well, no one's judging me, so that's kind of nice. Between this, my second creepy stream, and Standard Fiend the other day, was it yesterday? I've been on Twitch more this week than I think I have since I joined Twitch over a year ago. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I wanted to find Standard Fiend. Hold on. How do I do this? I'll have to find Standard Fiend in her like space, cuz she was talking about how she's going to stream like this one kind of scary psychological thriller type of game that I was like too afraid to play myself, but she was like, I might replay it and like I can stream it, and I was like, that's really cool of you. So I'll have to find her, but that's awesome. Hooray Twitch. This is fun. Okay, I'm gonna go and start. I'm doing it. Starting to write. I'm gonna start the whole character outlining, development, that whole thing. Oh, thank you, because after this is done, so that I don't mess anything up, I will click it and I need to find the right word. I think subscribe is the right word, or follow or something. I'm not sure, but I'm excited. Very cool. Oh, also for anyone referencing needing a character sheet reference, you get a character profile on how to make a power couple for writing romantasy if you pre-order Jenna's How to Write Romantasy. I know I sound like a commercial right now. I just really like it. Oh my gosh. Okay, don't think it matters. We all know what it means. Okay, cool. Well, one of them means like you pay money or something, and I don't want to tell people like, hey, pay money for something. So I just didn't want to like, I don't know. I just didn't want to be like, hey, follow me if it meant like paying money. If the person didn't want to. That's all. So as long as everyone knows what it means, that's what. Here's a penny. Oh my gosh, thanks. That's fun. Okay. I'm going to not say out loud the different things in this, but I am doing the character profile. I was just about to list off all the things I'm going to be doing. Okay. First, I'm going to start with the main character, which is Twyla. She's a vamp. Okay. You're really like, you gotta settle down. Maybe you should take a nap with Babo. Yeah, okay. up the different types of skin colors and how to describe them, because my main character is going to be white this time. Well, one of them is going to be. And I just want the names because it's like... And I want her to be light, like, you know, white, but I want her to have like a warm undertone. And I know that there's like a way to like do that. Okay. Hold on. Light skin with warm undertones. Name. So terms like ivory, porcelain, fair, or light. So I don't want to use a light because in the brown community we always say like they're light skin, like I'd be considered like a light brown person, like I'm like quote light skin, so I don't want to use that. Fair doesn't really tell me. Porcelain seems too like cold white, but maybe hold on, let me look at some pictures. Oh my gosh, okay, so maybe she's fair or like a warm fair. Okay, porcelain has cool undertones, ivory has neutral undertones, and warm ivory has neutral undertones. Beige has warm undertones. That seems like a little too... Well, if I have... Let me look up light beige skin and see what... Okay, sandy beige... Well, the color I'm looking for is... It's not porcelain. That is a little too light and cool. Soft beige or rose beige? Let me look up rose beige real quick. I think that's what I'm going for. No, I think it's beige, just regular beige. Hold on. I think it's beige. I'll put rose in parentheses just in case. I got the app now, so I shouldn't be skipping in and out every 5 seconds. Okay, good. Very good. I don't have the app yet. It keeps telling me to get the app. Everyone says the app is awesome. So I like that you have that. Very cool. Okay. Let's see. And I want her to have blonde hair, but again with that warm tone instead of that silvery tone. So it looks like either maybe it's strawberry blonde or maybe honey blonde. I don't really like using food as describers, so maybe instead of honey blonde I could do sunny blonde or something. Hold on. Stop it. There's sunset blonde. I wish I could see it like on. I think it's golden blonde. It'll be very interesting to write like this character. Height. My sister and her family are visiting. My dog can't stand my sister's husband. He's driving me crazy barking at him. It's so funny. So, for a while, there was an extended family member that would visit, and my dog, Monty, hated him. And I couldn't, like, I'm not a big fan, but he hated him. And it wasn't until I actually did some like therapy work to figure out how to be around this person, then my dog chilled out. So I'm not saying this is happening to you, because dogs can pick up on all sorts of things. But there are times whenever I've been like, notice that my dogs copy how I feel about somebody. So that may happen. more in tune with writing instead of whatever Tog Mash is. It's fun to come up with your own like thing that matches exactly who you are, but it's funny because I'm either Iona, or which is my freaking name, or Creepycore and Folklore, which doesn't really tell anything about writing, but I think it's fun if you do that. How's everyone doing? I'm going to check on my babo and see if she's still sleeping by messaging my husband if he's not still sleeping. I managed to write 25 whole words, good, and eat some pretzelized crackers with cream cheese. That sounds really good. So you know it's a start. I guess in total I've written, because I'm doing the outline for it, let's see, how many words is this? Oop, shit. Hold on. How many words is this? 39. But I'm thinking real hard, so that's gotta count for something. It's Jay. Oh no, your neck still hurts after Thursday. That sucks. Hello, Jay. Welcome. We are cramming in productivity while my babo sleeps. At least that's what I'm doing. And some people are doing resumes. Some are figuring things out with like, I guess maybe not Readsy right now, but with, you know, Word and stuff like that. I forget what those things are called. And I'm doing a character chart. You got to go to a metal concert. Listen, it was good for your neck. The pain is weakness leaving the body. I'm kidding. That sucks. I've definitely been to things where it's made like an autoimmune disorder flare up, or like, not saying you have one of those, but you know, or I've been hurting the next day and I'm like, you do it for the experience. That's cool. I'm excited that you got to go to that. I just found out some vampire lore. This is very exciting. Nice. Okay. This works out really well. This is working out really well. Oh my gosh, you're going to be reading the arc for How to Write Romantasy. Yes! I just finished How to Write Romantasy today, which is why I feel so amped up right now. Fibromyalgia is an autoimmune thing. Yep, it certainly is. And it's also given to people that they kind of don't know why they're in pain all the time. This is not saying this is your diagnosis, but sometimes people will use fibromyalgia as like a, well, we don't know what's going on and you're in pain all the time, so here you go. But that's why there are flare-ups and stuff like that. Like a lot of people, for instance, with Ehlers-Danlos will get diagnosed first with fibromyalgia because like we're in pain all the time. And then from all the body dislocations and connective tissue disorders and stuff like that. And so whenever people get diagnosed with that, sometimes they don't look further and then they realize that it's actually something else. But fibromyalgia was the best way they could describe it at the time. So yeah, I hate that you're having a flare. Very cool. Yeah, that's enough job applications. Yeah, I get it. Vampire lore is amazing. Apparently vampires don't all say blech. That is a horrific stereotype, Thomas. Stop perpetuating it. um, Stephanie Meyer did get one thing right. I don't say bleh, bleh, bleh. Too many of us had fibromyalgia, so when my sister and I found out we had EDS, suddenly everything else made sense for a whole lineage. It certainly does, especially because EDS is genetic. So turns out no fibromyalgia. Yeah, that's the thing, and it's like really weird because it's like, oh, you discovered the root of it, so it's not fibromyalgia anymore, but it's like it's still a pain condition, you know. So lucky us. But I'm glad we have answers. That's the thing that a lot of people don't ever get. So I'm thankful for answers. I'm also at the same time resentful that it took this long, you know. Yeah. Sparrow, I'm starting to wonder if you're in our club. You're welcome to join. It's not fun though. No. Also, even though it's been almost an hour, I haven't heard back from my husband, which means that they're probably both asleep, which means they're both sleeping and I'm still good to go. Sometimes it's like the pressure of like, I don't know when time's gonna run up, that it actually helps me focus. Hooray for ADHD. That is definitely an ADHD thing, I would say. I love this. I don't want to like, well, okay, I'll say, because like what are you guys gonna just blab all of this to the world? It's fine. So what I'm trying to do is establish the place where my main character Twyla is going to be going to school, because she's going to have like a patron who is like, oh, I'll help you go to school, but then you learn more about this patron as like what, you know, he's really all about. But the school I'm gonna make as like a Catholic school, like a private Catholic school. So there's like, she's from a low income family. It's just she and her dad who has addiction issues or alcohol usage issues, and so she's going to be going to this Catholic school, and typically Catholic schools use Saint so and so. So first I tried to look up like kind of like as an Easter egg of like, oh, Saint apparently Saint Andrew has like a whole thing where even though he's not made for that, in Romania it's like, oh, werewolves and vampires come more like alive or get frenzied during this time. So I'm like, well, that's not really hitting the mark, but that's close. But then I found out Saint Felix of something, there's something to do with arachnids that's important. That's like a big reveal later, but he's the patron saint of lost animals and spiders, and that just super, you know, is like just a big Easter egg here. So I'll do, you know, Saint Felix Catholic college or Catholic university or something. Actually, I wonder if you can be a university if you're, can you have a Catholic university? I feel like Duquesne is a university, so yeah, okay, so it's just like a private one. Anyway, all that to say, that was really cool, and then I just got a little sucked into reading about this particular saint. So I'm pausing my hyperfixation and I'm making myself move on to the next thing. So I've only ever dislocated something once, and it was my finger while opening a fridge door. Okay, so two things. You don't have to have the dislocation thing. That's just one type. Some people actually have the opposite happen, where they'll start developing like arthritis or something because your body like overreacts the other direction. So you can actually be less bendy later on. That's not a good, and that's only one type of the many types of Ehlers-Danlos. And the fact that this part two of this answer is the fact that you dislocated your finger while opening a fridge door. Unless it's a weird freak accident, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of EDS-y, you know? You got some Ehlers-Danlos-y things going on. But that's just me trying to recruit. This is me just trying to get everyone to be on my team. Oh dear. Hopefully it doesn't mess anything up. There we go. Oh, interesting. It was a weird freak accident. I was living in a small apartment and the kitchen was tiny, so when I opened the door, my elbow hit the wall, and so my arm was wedged there until the moment. Got my finger. Okay, it could be just a freak accident that like just bumped it a particular way. But me being extra, I have HEDS, which means hypermobile EDS, and there's also different like intensities of it too. Like I'm pretty bendy. I won't do all the floppy things. Sometimes it weirds people out, so I'll try not to be too bendy on stream, but there are all these like weird things my body can do. Yeah, also there's so many different chronic pain disorders. I'm concerned that now that EDS is finally getting awareness, docs are going to use it as the new fibromyalgia. I could totally see that happening. I hope it doesn't, but I could totally see that happening. Because once diagnosed, there still isn't really anything a doctor can do for EDS. You just symptom treat and do a lot of physical therapy, and lots of docs are lazy or dismissive with us, for sure. I know I've never been treated like this before, but when I was like, last year was my health year, I was like, I am going to pursue every health possibility there is. I'm not going to let a mystery, go unsolved, no stone unturned kind of thing. And because I started it last year, obviously there's still some stuff going on now, but that's why I had like a medication switch up to help with autoimmune stuff. And that's why I went to certain specialists and I got my gallbladder removed and all sorts of stuff was going on. So, but when I was pursuing Ehlers-Danlos to just either rule it out or see what's going on, I was treated horribly because they're like, even if you were to have that, because I was like, maybe I should see a rheumatologist, maybe I should see a geneticist. Well, I learned that genetics wise, HEDS is genetic, but they just don't know what gene it falls on. So you can't really test for it because it's like, well, we don't know what we're looking for. And there are certain other ones that you can genetically test for. And then when it comes to like specialists, I was like, hey, I want to see you because I think I have this. They're like, well, we don't see patients with that. We don't work with that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're a rheumatologist. Like, you do work with that, with me. People like me. If I even have it, I don't even know if I have it or not. I highly suspect it though. And they were like, well, we don't, basically it boiled down to, they kind of let slip, and the other practitioners' behaviors and evasions made sense because they don't like seeing people with EDS because we have a lot of pain stuff and they don't want to prescribe pain medicine, which I'm like, that comes to a whole other, oh my gosh, it goes all the way to the top because it's like the family that caused the opioid epidemic and stuff like that. Anyway, they basically were treating me like I was a drug seeker, and first of all, I'm like, I'm not, so put the person first, like put the patient and their well-being first. But second of all, if people need pain medicine, I think you should give them pain medicine. Like, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person if they don't want to be in pain. So it was just a total fucking mess. So, like I've heard, oh, you just have, EDS so well, sucks, you'll be fine. Oh my gosh, that sucks. Wacky waving inflatable arm tube Iona. Yes, I can definitely, like, I won't do it too explicitly, but like, I can do the weird, like, I don't know. It was funny because I have a friend from Thailand, and I met her when she was a foreign exchange student, and whenever she visited, I could do some of the hand dances she was teaching me. I don't remember how to do them now, so I'm not trying to be like not quite right, but she was like, wow, you have such good flexibility, like you could seriously be a hand dancer. And I don't know if she was being kind or not, but I completely attribute that to Ehlers-Danlos and being able to do the bendy, like, apparently you're not supposed to be able to do that. Like, some people can only go to there, and we're pretty bendy people. So I got all my heart stuff checked out after my diagnosis. Good. When I finally got tested for POTS, oh my gosh, that's what my next, okay, you are reading my mind, because that's what my next thing is, because I've almost passed out like a bunch of times from just like standing up, or so stupid, or like if I'm hugging my babo and I'm like kneeling down to hug her and then I stand up, I've almost passed out before, and I'm like, I can't like do that, and then the exhaustion, oh my god. But Oh shoot, I skipped ahead. But Sparrow said definitely something to look into. My pain is a lot worse than my mom's, so we're thinking it might be either a worse level or something else instead of or in addition to. Yeah, but I need a new doctor as soon as I get insurance again. That's totally, you prioritize however you need to or however you're able. But you got your heart checked out. HB Lee got their heart checked out. Tested for POTS, which is your biggest issue from EDS. Found out I also have a serious but unrelated arrhythmia that was dismissed as panic attacks. That's something else that happened where it's like someone will have like a deviated septum or someone will have an arrhythmia and and they're like, oh, you are having a panic attack. You're just having a panic attack. And it's like, okay, those are still serious, but also can you check everything out? Like, for decades since I was only a kid, but when you have EDS, you're more likely to have different heart issues. That means cardiologists have to be more thorough. Very good to know, because they found out I had a heart murmur, but it's like a level like 0 or something where it's like completely not scary, but they still keep an eye on it because I went a couple years without a heart murmur and then suddenly I suddenly had a level 0 one, and I'm just kind of like, well, we'll just keep seeing if this is a trend, you know. But if you suspect EDS at all, please get your heart checked. Absolutely. And I've had my heart checked a lot. Whenever I was in high school, I had to wear like a heart monitor and stuff. They're like, we don't know what's going on, so I'll definitely get that checked out. That helps me feel like, that gives me the extra, like, you know what, oomph. Like I can get, my next one is POTS. Pain management is a whole thing. My doctors only ever want to give me ibuprofen and it does nothing, and they're like, well, your blood work is fine, except, you know, my C reactive protein is high and my B12 and vitamin D are low too. I just got told I need to get shots, and I was like, no, please. I'll remember to take the vitamins. I don't want any more shots. I hate needles so much, but it's okay. So lose weight. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Lose weight for me. And I was like, lose weight. And I'm like, how? It hurts to move and I'm standing more than 10 minutes. My back seizes up. So fine. Yeah. And everyone with EDS is so different too. That's the other thing where it's like mine, like I can stand for a while if I wear very special shoes, but if I'm not wearing those shoes, I feel like I'm dying. So the big scary heart thing with EDS is stretched aorta. Oh, is that an aneurysm? Maybe if it stretches too much. Hold on, let me. I know that also you really have to be careful with your eyes. I got my eyes checked like right away. It is an aortic aneurysm. I was right and you were right. And we all know about things. I was really worried about my eyes because sometimes your eyes can, like your retinas can become dislocated. And I was like, okay. But I got those super checked out and they were fine. Okay. I have to get shots and take vitamins. Oh. Sparrow, I'm really not trying to like force you into our awful club, but I really think you belong here. Unfortunately, but fortunately for you, you have a community. You have a community and we can all complain together. Very exciting. I've also really toyed with the fact of using like a mobility device because I get tired out so fast, but I also don't want to, I don't know. I don't want to seem like I'm like trying on different hats and I'm just like, I don't know. And I know that if anyone else were doing this, I would not feel like they were attention seeking, but whenever it's me, I'm like, but am I doing it for attention? And it's like, come on. Woo, mutual complaining. Yes. Hell yes. Yeah, you can look into it. You'll have to advocate a lot for it, or you'll get really lucky where randomly my doctor knew a whole bunch about it. And he knew a ton about it randomly because he went to medical school and one of his like medical school buddies had it, but he had the very, very scary type. I mean, all of them can be scary, but he had the one where like his skin is super loose and he did have like a heart and a spinal thing going on. I forget which type that is, and there's different like severities of it, of course, too. But that's why he learned all about it, was because his friend was like going through it and needing like and having like surgery problems because of the connective tissue disorder stuff. And so everyone in that group like learned a lot about it and wanted to support him, and so he knew a ton about it. And he even said I had like a look too. Like apparently there's like these like tapered fingers and like a face shape look thing. I don't see it, but he said, he's like, oh, now that I think about you, you do have it, so I'll put it in your chart. And I was like, wow, all that fighting. And he's like, I'll just add it in. You look like you have it. I mean, he made me do all the stretchy things too, but you know, going through, I think it's called the Brighton, hold on. What's the, and remember mine is HEDS. This is just for HEDS, but what's the HEDS test called? Let's see. Brighton. Oh, not Brighton, sorry. Beighton. Beighton. The Beighton score and joint hypermobility. And so you get, you know, your score there and you do that because a lot of people have hypermobility just in general and it's not EDS. And I don't know the nuances there, but I know I have HEDS. Oh yeah, that happened to my friend where her larynx dislocated. Oh. Yep. And just refused to sweat. Yeah. No, really, you can't, like, no. How are you supposed to, you don't know what's going on with your body. You're just trying to breathe. Like, it's kind of important to breathe. There's a lot of stigma with mobility devices. It can be hard. I've had to use them. It can feel so embarrassing. That's the thing, is like, if I saw someone else, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know if it would, like, I'd be like, oh, they're using a rollator or something. Like, I think I would just, like, label the item. I don't even think it would register, whether they're young or old or seem to have, like, a mobility issue or don't. Like, but I just put this weird, like, pressure on myself. But also that has a little bit to do with how I grew up. Where it's like, be as independent and non-needed as possible, and you're good. I think a lot of us had to grow up with a little hyper independence there. So yeah, I'm currently going through monthly pains, which is a treat with PCOS. Yes, I just met someone yesterday with PCOS, and it was so, like, validating. It was very cool. Very cool to meet them. And it actually showed up in their, like, crystal ball reading. And I was like, oh, well, this might say to maybe look into this diagnosis, but I don't want to say for sure because this is spiritual. This isn't, like, medical advisement. And they're like, no, I have that diagnosis. Carry on. And I was like, okay. Join me in this horrible place. It is very fascinating to me. I've just been thinking about this a lot, of, like, people who have similar interests and some of the things that overlap. Kachoo. That was a horrible idea that you were going to fulfill. Let me move this out of the way. Don't do that. It's like he wants to be harmed. You can jump up now, but you just couldn't, like, smash into, like, everything that was piled there. Like, you picked the worst spot. But it's clear now. I've had to use a cane because I go through periods where my knees won't work right. Sparrow, this is EDS. But also don't listen to me because it could be Lyme's and it could be a ton of other things. But I'm just saying, knees don't work right. It gives out for no reason. This is really sound like EDS. And when I had to use a wheelchair, yeah, it was a vacation in Atlanta and I overdid it the day before. So my husband convinced me to use a wheelchair at the zoo. Excellent. No, Kachoo has no self-preservation. He was not made to like survive in the wilds. Like, first of all, why is he constantly choking himself with cords? Second of all, look at this guy. He's not made to last. He's a precious little fluff angel that needs to be protected at all costs, yet he insists on jumping and smashing into things. Like, why? Why? He can sit here, but he can't, like, twirl up in things and then fall off of my lap and turn to jello. Like, you cannot do that. That is scary for me. You're scaring me. You're clearly not afraid, but you're freaking me out, man. Let's see. My biggest personal obstacle or issue with mobility aids is that I get embarrassed when I use them for like 2 days and then go back. Yes, that is exactly what my thoughts were. Makes me feel like I'm making it up because I know it looks that way, because you might be crutches for a few days or wear a wrist brace randomly, and had to use a wheelchair for an amusement park trip because I had such a flare up. Oh my gosh. Also, I don't know about you, but I'm just imagining the heat. Sometimes excessive heat like fucks me up, and I don't know if it melts me on the inside or what. But I love sunny, heat days because I'm like cold all the time. Like it's like almost 100 degrees outside, and I am so cold. So I had to put on this, like, it's a thin sweatshirt, but like a long sleeve shirt basically. And I'm like no temperature regulation, I swear to God. Looks to be in crutches for a few days or wear wrist brace randomly. I also had to use a wheelchair amusement park trip. So, oh yeah, in case that one was really hot. But it was making such a flare up, and I felt like I was making it up to skip the line, even though I very, very much wasn't. I know. Dollywood in the summer's wild, I'm sure. When I was using a cane, my doctor asked if I was using it because I needed it, or if it was an aesthetic choice. See, this is what I'm talking about. First of all, if someone wants to use a cane for an aesthetic choice, why is that bad? Like, that's already fine. But also, like, we don't know what people are going through. You can be able to use a cane for like several hours and it's fine. Think about people who use walking sticks. I mean, I live close to the Appalachian Trail, and people will just like emerge from like the woods and they'll be using like a big stick or a cane, and because it just adds an extra steadying like feature for them. So I don't understand the problem. Like, oh, we need to destigmatize this, but it is very ingrained in me not to see that in other people, but not to want to appear that way. Like, oh man, it was even a nice looking cane. It wasn't even one of those nice looking canes. It was just one of those plain black ones from Walmart. Sorry, that's not funny. But it's like, so do you need all that, or like what? Also, coming from a doctor, that is like, you're already like questioning yourself. I told him about my knee and he was just like, okay. My grandfather has carved canes. Oh my God, not caves. Canes as a hobby long before he needed them. And if he really liked one, he'd keep it. Honestly, he rocked it. That's what I'm talking about. The other thing too is like, this isn't like a finite resource. Like, there are some things, like obviously like a power chair, or like certain types of wheelchairs. But also, like, if people just need to use a mobility device, like, it's not a finite resource. Like, they can have their own mobility device. It sucks that they're not even more accessible, because I also feel like there are people who might not have like a physical disability. What if they're just like feeling kind of tired and like, or like need a little extra cushion of like, okay, I want to sit for this time, I want to stand for this time. Like, it doesn't make I feel like part of it's American culture too, because even like just sitting down on your shift can be seen as like, oh, you need an accommodation for that. And it's like, you need an accommodation to sit. Like, it's pretty human to sit. Like, I don't know. So I could get so hyped up about this, I swear. I don't need a cane, but I would love a sword cane for aesthetic reasons. There's someone I know whose grandparents gave them, like, they're a young person that has EDS and like some mobility stuff going on, and their grandparents gave them a cane, and it had a spike out that popped out of the bottom of it when they pushed a button. They were like, oh my God, grandma. And the grandma was like, no, it's for like snow and ice. And they're like, oh. They're like, I kind of like it though as a weapon. Oh my gosh. The fact that cashiers aren't allowed to sit over there truly baffles me. There's no reason. Like, it's, I don't know, like, does that make the overlords feel better? I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's seen as like being lazy if you sit, which again makes no sense. Like, think of we sit for many reasons. Yeah, the only time I was allowed to sit for a job was when I was pregnant. Yeah, I feel like there's like this big divide between like sitting jobs and standing jobs. And if you have something that's considered a stand, it's like you either stagnate with sitting or you stagnate with standing. It sucks. So, he had one. My grandmother broke her foot and grabbed the cane one day and had no idea. And it was so funny. The sword cane. It's so funny where she's like, oh, I'm suddenly wielding a sword. That is the best. Like, honestly, I would read the shit out of a book that had like a call to action or like an inciting incident where someone's like, oh, I just need to use this cane, and it turns out it was like an Excalibur type of sword. And maybe Excalibur isn't the right word. I don't remember, but the sword that's like very special, and it's like, oh, you've been chosen to be on this quest actually, and they're like, I am like an 80-plus-year-old woman. I don't know. I would really like a story like that. Yeah, accidental swashbuckling grandma. Yeah, thank you for like, my job isn't exactly a sitting job. I deliver mail on bike slash foot. Yeah, that would like, no one ever used this term. I'm just making it up, but that's considered like a stand up job. Same thing with like construction or like my husband is a pharmacist, so he has a standing job. Like, you just stand and you count pills and use the computer and stuff. But then it's like really tough because then whenever I had a sitting job before, it was like really tough to like not sit. Granted, I'm not gonna like stand there and pace around while I'm being someone's therapist, but it is nice because I also have like a stand up. I got it really, really, really inexpensively. I don't know, for cheap. And it's this stand up walking. I think the fastest you can go is maybe like 5 miles an hour, which is, I'm not doing that, but like, and it's like a walking stand up, has like a teeny tiny little desk place for your computer on it. And I really like that. I've been using that a lot. Hello, B. Connolly photo. I guess I should just call you B. Connolly. That's so fun. Welcome. We are writing all kinds of things, but also complaining about the difficulty with certain types of autoimmune disorders and physical disabilities, and how things aren't very accessible for us sometimes. Yeah, Thomas, my job is very much a sitting job. Software development, yeah, hang in there with the AI stuff. I have a desk that's supposed to rise up so I can stand occasionally, but it's broken. Great. I love that. Working at McDonald's in college messed up my joints more than any sport I ever played. Standing still is the worst. It's crazy. I worked in a nursing home, and that was as like a dishwasher. They called it a dietary aide. I was a dishwasher and like a food deliverer, and it was just really tough because I remember standing on the concrete, and no matter what I put insoles in my shoes or whatever, I was aching and hurting so badly. And I was just like, why is this like there has to be a way that it isn't like this. It's a tough job. Yeah, worked there 4 different times. It's one of those jobs, like fast food in general is one of those jobs where it's like, listen, like, I will take this when I need it, but people in the service industry should not be treated like that. Absolute garbage. So I'm so like treated like garbage, not that the job is garbage. And it sucks because like, if you have like a good crew and you have people that support you, at least for me, I should speak not for everyone, just for me, I feel like I can do any job. It could be the toughest job in the world, but whenever I feel like somewhat people have my back, like I feel like I can do it. But whenever I have a job, it could be quote easy. Fast food is not easy, but I could have like a quote easy job, and whenever it's a toxic environment, it really gets to me. Or if there's too much like physical standing, it gets to me. Yeah, service it over here, there in the States is much worse than over here. Probably because your country was voted like the happiest country in the world for like years upon years, I thought. So I love working for the Humane Society. Very physically demanding. Yes, it is, but very rewarding. I had having to quit. That's the only time I ever passed out, was working there. Oh, that's awful. My ex wanted to quit her 6-figure journalist job because of the stress and get a job at Burger King. Honestly, like, I totally, like, I can understand. Because depending on the situation that people are in, it can really, like, it can get to you. Also, now I'm, like, getting really hot. I love bodies and how unique and complex they are. Also, let me see if my baby is still sleeping. Okay. She's asleep now. I'm okay, but tired at the moment. Cool. I'm trying to get him to watch not Vampire. Wow. That's what I'm writing. K-pop Demon Hunter. Because I just watched it with my babo, but I want him to watch it. if I was a journalist, all I'd ask for is pictures of Spider-Man. I'd be like, listen, but did you get the pictures of Spider-Man yet? That's the way to live out the dream. James Jonah Jameson. Oh, I love that. That's very cool. New York City is such an interesting place. I've only been there once, but I don't live, like, it's like within reason, like I could get there. So I feel like I should visit again, but I do think it would be kind of tough to live there. I say living in Appalachia, not barely knowing how to cross the street that's busy. Lived in Brooklyn for a couple years. That's cool. Very cool. I'm still waiting on pictures of Spider-Man. Oh. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. New York City is amazing and awful and awful and amazing. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, and waiting to visit sounds like a good. Oh yeah, Appalachia is super haunted. Okay, here are some crazy things about Appalachian Mountains. They are so old that they're older than bones. Like if you dig past a certain spot, you won't find fossils ever because they were created before like living creatures. And then also they're so old that they're older than Saturn's rings. And whenever everything was together, I think they're older than Pangea itself, like when everything was squished together. But they formed, and so the mountains in Scotland, they think are the same as the Appalachian Mountains before Scotland kind of floated off on its own. So I live at like the very end of Appalachia, small town in South Carolina. Perfect. Yeah, but Appalachia has a lot of weird shit going on in there. That's why there's all these rules about like don't whistle after dark. If you hear something, no you didn't. If you see something, you just super casually, you don't run, which is the hardest part, where you're just like, I think I need to go home right this very second. I'm just gonna mosey on back, but don't whistle. But yeah, and there's like mimics everywhere, and there's like folklore. And what's really crazy is that there's folklore that goes so like deep and so old that the folklore is the same. Like they might have different names in like indigenous tribes or in like settler stories, and they might call them different things, but it's the same like phenomenon because they'll describe similar things happening from this entity that looks a certain way, even when it has different names. Some lurking creature is consistent, so it's very creepy. I like that you capitalize small town. It makes it like small. I live in a small town TM kind of thing. I went to college in Newark, New Jersey, which is like New York City's armpit, so I'm jaded, LOL. I grew up close to a train ride from New York City anyway, but Broadway will always bring me back. I still have never been to a Broadway play, and I'd really like to go. To be fair, sharks are also older than Saturn's rings. Oh, really? I'm looking that up. Oh, also, Lorenzo, don't say the W word, just so you know, because it's actually a demon, and it's not from folklore. It's actually a demon, so if you say it, it like summons it. So I'm superstitious with that. We don't say that one. And if you're curious about it, you can listen to my podcast, Creepycore and Folklore. There's an episode called Where Did Wendy Go? And you can learn more about why we don't say it. We don't mention Wendy's in this house. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Let me look up the are sharks older than, I think sharks are older than trees. Yes, sharks are older than trees. Are sharks older than Saturn's rings? I know that the Appalachian Mountains are definitely older than the trees. That's why John Denver's, is it John Denver who sings the Country Road song? Where he said life is old there, older than the trees, is why. It's because Appalachian Mountains are so old. Yes, they're older than Saturn's rings. Okay, this is the battle of the sharks and the Appalachian Mountains. It says They're among the oldest mountain ranges on Earth, with some parts dating back to over 1 billion years. Older than trees and land animals. Okay. Once as tall as the Himalayas. Um, oh, they have multiple orogenies. Origins. Orogenies. I like that word. The Appalachians didn't form all at once. They were shaped by several mountain building events. Orogenies. Over hundreds of millions of years. Including the Grenville, Taconic, Acadian, and Alleghanian events. Interesting. Well, I want to know which one's older, sharks or... Are sharks or Appalachian Mountains older? Wow, someone actually looked that up already. They're older than sharks. Heh! Mountains a win. Mountains rule and sharks drool. Let's see. Mothman is totally fine. Mothman is our Lord and Savior here. I'm kidding. But Mothman, don't worry, because I totally made that mistake. That's why I learned about it, and then I got freaked out by my mistake, but it's fine. So Mothman was actually sighted a couple times, which is not a good sign. It's so funny. There's an auto mod that Lorenzo was... They didn't want you to say the word but. But I'm going to let you say the word but. It says... he said... Mothman is fine. Literally. He's cheeked up for sure. Like, they have this statue that honors Mothman, and he's cheeked. Thomas, I'm older than both. After headbanging yesterday, you probably do feel older than both, but we love that you went to that thing. Mothman is adorable despite having a statue that his butt ass naked. I saw there was like a lesbian couple that got engaged in front of the Mothman butt, and I love it so much. I just was like, yes, we love this. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Wow, my babo's been sleeping for a while. Good on her. Okay, it's been 1 hour and 20 minutes. I think I can go maybe another 10, and then I have to eat and be a human being, I guess, before she wakes up. And then if I eat while she's asleep, I don't have to share my good food. Now I always make extra and save some for her. It's so good. I love Mothman. Okay, I'm gonna write for we're gonna do this for 10 more minutes-ish, and then see where we are in that. They what? I missed it, Lorenzo. What are you asking? Lorenzo de Boss. I love it. We're going to Point Pleasant. Oh yeah, they what? Yeah, they got engaged in front of the butt. You got to do it. It gives you your marriage. I'm gonna say 50 decades of good luck. Being a human is overrated. Queen of Lilac. Lilac, that's so beautiful. Welcome to our chat. We're writing. I love that whenever I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna leave in 10 minutes. Is when everyone gets to chat and it's so fun. And I don't want to leave and eat, but it's fine. Yeah, Jay is a Gengar space light being for sure. I feel like I have Fae encrypted energy personally. Being a human is tough, and we were just talking about our weird melty joints earlier, because a lot of us have some autoimmune stuff and some disorders and disabilities, and we're just like, you know what, maybe we're not totally a person. Oh my gosh, I have 20 followers. Let me see. Oh shit, I don't know how to tell that. Hold on. Oh, I don't want to refresh. I believe you that I have 20 followers though. Thank you. I'm so excited. 20 followers is such a big deal. Thank you for noticing that. And suddenly I own a stream turned into a mukbang stream. That would be fun. I feel so embarrassed eating in front of people though, so I have a hard time. My dad is big into cryptids since he apparently saw something like Mothman but not really. It had a beak. Ooh, there's lots of them with beaks. Where was your dad? Like in the world, on Earth, like location wise. That was the weirdest way to ask that. Where did he see it? Like, if it was in the woods, which woods were they? If it was in a parking lot, where was the parking lot? Like, I need details because I think that I may know what it is. It was cool. He was a Kui. I don't think I've heard of a Kui before. That would be really cool. No, it keeps auto-correcting me. Maybe it was a typo. Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. Oh, you made them up. I kept putting Kui cryptid. And then and then it was like, do you mean a queer cryptid? And I was like, that's what we all are, really, but no. It's not what I'm saying. His obsession transferred to me so that I made a play based on the accounts and sightings of Mothman. I love that. It was on a bridge in Italy. Ooh. It was probably a jet. No, it wasn't. Or a jet. No, it wasn't. There's no way. I believe your dad wholeheartedly. I support his Moby Dick obsession. Cryptid with beak in Italy. So there's one called a Lariosaro. And it's from the Como Lake of northern Italy. I don't know if it has a beak, though. No, it just looks like Nessie, which I'm totally here for. But who's over a bridge? Hold on. Let me try flying cryptid. Because if you think it was a jet and it had a beak, then maybe it was flying. Flying cryptid in Italy. There's the Strix, which looks kind of like a gargoyle or a grotesque. And a Strix is a bird. Ooh, it was a bird. It doesn't look like a bird, but maybe that's just one of the depictions of it. Of ill omen, a product of metamorphosis. And it fed on human flesh and blood. And it was described as a large-headed bird with transfixed eyes. What does that mean? That they didn't move? A rapacious beak. Don't know what that means either. And grayish white wings and hooked claws. I'm looking up a Strix right now. That could be it. What else is there? There's the Doñas de Fuera, and they're more closely associated with fairies, and they abduct people and fly them on the backs of magical goats. That sounds horrifying and exhilarating at the same time. And then there's witches, you know, of course. And then La Befana. Sorry, my cat's being weird. Okay. I remember making an episode about La Befana, or bringing her up, and it's connected to ancient pagan propitiatory. Pretend I said that right. Rites, and fly over cultivated fields to propitiate. Oh, like propagate the fertility of future crops. I remember La Befana. And then Biso Galeto is a creature from Veronese valleys and has the body and head of a rooster, wings full of spines, and a snake's tail. So it could be the Biso Galeto or it could be the Strix. And then there's the Masca, and these are female creatures of Piedmontese folklore, and they had the power of bilocation and transformation to animals, plants, or objects, and their activities is almost exclusively nocturnal. I am very curious to know what your dad saw. It flew really fast. 22 followers? Thank you. This is so exciting. I don't know what the different milestones are for Twitch, but Twitch follower milestones. Okay, so if you reach 25 followers, no, if you reach 50, and that's when you can join the affiliate program. Not familiar with that, but that's okay. And you can monetize your channel. That's exciting. You get some pennies, some coins. Others include 100, 500, and 1,000 and beyond. But I don't understand. Okay, let me look at Reddit. I'm gonna go to the dark side. What are some realistic milestones to keep in check for success for Twitch? Making affiliate is the first goal, and then you can make small goals for yourself. Okay. I guess it's not as cut and dry as like Instagram will be like, make it here and then we'll maybe give you $1, which I appreciate the dollar or the 11 cents, but you know. Thank you for being my 22nd follower. This is so exciting. 22 is a really good number for me personally. So Lefty is here. See, now I don't want to leave. Maybe I can sneak away and eat food and come back. Everyone's here and so exciting and fun to talk to. You have arrived. It's very exciting. First goal, have a good setup / PC. Second goal, I think I have it. I'm happy with the weeks that it took me to set up this thing. My streaming kind of vibe. And then second goal is to have fun and engaging audience. Well, the audience is super fun and engaging. I feel kind of bad because people only met me because they met Jenna first and they knew of Jenna first and they're supportive of her. And then they met me because she shared my book and stuff and because we're friends. But I appreciate everyone just the same. I just feel sometimes bad. Like I'm like, hi, please hang out with me. Like she's never made me feel this way, but sometimes I'm kind of like, well, I hope I'm not like bothering anyone. Well, we've all had that, like where we're in a friend group, but maybe we're not the prioritized friend in the friend group. Again, she doesn't make me feel this way, but I'm worried that I'll create that dynamic of being like, hi, I'm streaming, everybody write with me, and like I hope we have friendship too, and then I'm not being annoying because I'm not Jenna. I love your frames. Are they new or did you totally miss those before? No, they're new. I just set them up Friday. Because I've been slowly curating these like little, you know, things and having like a theme of like a dark background and then like a cool foreground. Like whether it's an animal or flowers or something. And then my husband is starting to weave ivy, pretend ivy, like fake ivy, but in and out of here. And, you know, kind of do that. Also, I hope this doesn't mess well, it might mess something up. But I could always make this bigger. Is that going to mess things up? It did, didn't it? I'm doing it anyway. Hold on. Let me try and find the outline of it. Because I could make it... Oh, God. Everything is going to be okay. Okay. And then... this... No. It's the... I think it's this thing. No. Oh dear. There we go. Okay, I found it. And then I can just go like this. Am I good at computers? ? Oh, but then I cover the cat. And I like the cat there. But I guess I have the cat over on the I'll put it back. I'll fool around with it later. It's not going. There we go. Back to normal. But it's fun. Very cool. I know that feeling so much, but I wouldn't be here if I generally it didn't like, or oh, that's so sweet of you to say. You're not annoying. That's good, because sometimes I feel annoying. Genuinely enjoy it. I see what you're saying now. I mean, in real life, I feel like you usually meet a new person through another person. So that's the most common way to make new friends. Yes, you're totally right. You'll grow. Twitch is its own platform, and you'll find your peeps as you do. Good luck. Thank you, Queen of Lilat. I just keep saying your name over and over again because I think it's very pretty. I've never heard the name Lilat or Laylet, or I think it's just a really pretty name. Very cool. I love all the theme. One day I want a bunch of frames just like that. I really like the look. Thank you. I kind of stole the look from... There's this person, sometimes I like watching their videos, sometimes I don't, and it's a little overstimulating, but he's called Film Cooper, I think, and he has a whole bunch of like mirrors and like artwork, and like I just liked it kind of looks a little scrapbooky, so, and I'm thinking about putting something here, but anytime I put something here that's flat, you can't see it, so I was like, well, maybe I should put like, I don't know, like fake flowers or something here, like something that's a little more 3D, but because this seems bare, but I guess not every wall has to be filled with everything, I guess, but I'm definitely going for maximalism, I think. Yeah, and I got every frame I got was very inexpensive, because like it started with I can do this. It started with the owl, and then from the thrift store, and then I slowly started, and then obviously like that one's ashes, and Jenna got that for me, and then all these other things are like together. So, oh, you could hang like a little banner or flag over here. I think that's a really good idea. Oh man, okay, I could even do some promo stuff where I'm like, this is Creepycore and Folklore, or like Happy Pride or something. Oh, it could change too. That's a good idea. I'll have to think on it. My husband's way better at this than me, so I will tell him the banner/flag idea and see what his little noodle comes up with. Creepycore logo. You can swap it out. Yeah, because also that's something else that I do, like moving things around a lot. Like this is like the 5th iteration of, I think, how this office has looked since I've lived here. So every couple months I like to move things around and spice things up. So I feel like there's something really fun you could do with a slanted ceiling too, but I can't think right now. See, that's what I'm really wondering about. That's a really good idea, because I want to like work with what I've got. And hold on, I wonder if I can show you the rest of the room real quick. Hold on. Kachoo is in the worst spot per usual. So here's what the rest of the room kind of looks like, and hold on, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay, so over there is the daybed. That's the rest of the ivy. I can't really turn it, and that's also where my like little walking places. I put it right in front of the thing, but the room is very tubular, and like you can kind of see if I go like this of how it's the top of the house. So I don't know how to exactly do it. Could you please? Like I'm putting the thing back, and he's standing right. He moves so he's in front of where I'm gonna put it. Like, hello. Ooh, it could do some draping. Okay. Kachoo's tail. You probably saw it. I'm sure you did. I also really like twinkly lights, but they're really easy to just put wherever. Like I could put them in the ivy and stuff too. But this, yeah, something can. And I banged my head on this so much, so I would like something there. So I stopped doing that. But it would be cool if there was like I don't know. I could go real crazy and have a projector, but then I feel like that's way too much, because then there's like the movement on the screen, and then this is like would have movement up here. So we'll think on it. I like these ideas. A pillow with pride case. Ooh, that's a good idea. And then if it's a pillow, I could always switch out the cases too. I like how you guys are thinking. This is very helpful because I'm really not good at interior design at all. Like the only thing I was able to do was have a consistent theme with these things. Like my husband hung them all and put them in this particular like array. And like he even had me set this up so he could see kind of like what the audience would see and how it would go together. Oh, paint the ceiling is like one of those perspective things, so it looks like instead of a slanted ceiling, it's a portal into outer space. Ooh, that would be cool. It would be whenever you say I would paint the ceiling, if you say you know, you should paint the ceiling, or I'm saying, oh, I'll paint the ceiling, I really mean my husband will paint the ceiling because I don't know what I'm doing. I'll be supportive. I will be there, but would it be too much to paint the slanted ceiling as the night sky with stars? See, that's what Thomas is saying, I think. And then Sparrow was saying they would suggest a rainbow. Wallpaper. The peel and stick wallpaper is a good one. And it's funny because Kachoo. Oh dear. Oh no. You are in danger. You are in danger. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't even think about putting wallpaper on the ceiling. This is crazy. Hold on. I'm so sorry. There. Now everything is okay. That would be cool. Oh, you know what I really like? I don't know if this would work on a tilty ceiling, but there's a type of ceiling that's like metal looking, or maybe it is metal. Is it a tin ceiling? No, that's a tin roof. Hold on. Hold on. It's called something. Hold on. Metal ceiling. No, not the corrugated kind. What are metal ceilings called? They're like tiles. It is a tin ceiling. I was right. But I thought there was something that was maybe pressed metal ceiling, because I was thinking of the ones with the designs, but maybe I could do like a gold like thing there. That'd be kind of cool. There we go. Kachoo yearns for electricity. He really wants to get electrocuted so badly. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, studio foam. That's a really good idea. This microphone it's a cheap microphone, but I think it's called non-dynamic or something, where it cancels out a lot of the sound. And what I could do is do the studio foam, and it would make it sound even better, maybe. I'm liking these options. I'm glad you guys are looking at this space and helping me, because I'm like, I don't know. This has just been a weird space. Also, what's really weird is that these are like shelves. Oh, I left my cleaner in here. Whatever, it's fine. My house is clean for once, so whatever. But this like opens up and there's like a crawl space in here, and there have 1,000% been bats like in my wall before. So, well, this has to stay or whatever. This isn't movable, but I guess you can tell that because it's like in the wall, but it is a secret passage. So very exciting. And it whistles when it's very windy. Very spooky. It's fun. Okay, here's what I think I should do. I think I should finish this next chunk of my character development sheet, and then I will eat food, because it's important to listen to body cues that I rarely get. So yeah, let's do another little Iona's next novel, 1,000% bats. It's Bat Cave. Freaking bats. Yeah, I gotta get the snacks and drinks, so that'll be good. So maybe let's do for another 15, and we'll sprint for 15 minutes, and then we'll end at whatever time that'll be. I don't know. I'm just looking at the timer, and it's kind of like, oh, I've been streaming for 1 hour and 43 minutes somehow. You guys are fun. This has been great. Okay, so yeah, let's be all productive. I'm being all productive now. You have to copy me. We're gonna be productive together. I think it's great. Twyla's the name of my main character. I'm gonna mumble to myself. This is probably why it's so good that whenever Jenna has sprints that we mute, but I'm not muting, so good luck with me mumbling to myself. Okay, that age works. Oh, I should put the microphone close to my typing fingers so you can get the typing ASMR. If I can figure out the... official... Wow, that's not working at all. I don't know why this wouldn't... There. It's not working. You'll just have to hear my typing from afar. Okay. Oh. Kachoo. Ugh. My characters are furrowing their brows so much. I need like 86 synonyms for the action to not be repetitive. I said knit for the cozy paranormal mystery that's like on like a little break. I kept saying knit their brows together all the time, and I was like, are there any other facial expressions that we can do? Like, apparently not. Like, I guess this is what they do all the time. Stop it. Okay, let's see. Let me put that in there. Okay. sometimes I worry I'm trying to conquer too much, like cover too much. Because I want there to be like grief and overcoming a toxic relationship, like the themes. I just hope it's not too much. Maybe, well, but people are complex, so I get like conflicted. Yeah. Yours is smirk, smile, and grin. Yep. Yep. I got so frustrated when I was writing a scene like that. I'm pretty sure I also started with scrunched her face. That's totally fair. Friends. There we go. Okay. Okay, also, when I'm thinking about romantic orientation for my character, I'm having her not trust that anyone wants to be with her. So I don't want to make her aromantic because that's not necessarily like a thing that arrow people feel. And I don't want she's not arrow. But I don't know how to convey, like when considering her romantic orientation, I don't think she thinks it's in the cards for her to be with anybody long term or for her to have like a consistent partner. So she doesn't even like kind of have her brain doesn't even really give her the luxury to even think about that. So whenever it comes to romantic orientation, I'll put like pan, I guess, like pan romantic, but I'm going to put in parentheses that she's just like doesn't have the luxury to dream of having a partner because she feels it's impossible. We've got that whole like I might be unlovable type of thing, core belief that she's going to question in the book. I feel like the repetition of brow is more distracting than... Oh, that's also your insecurity too of like maybe doing too much. Let's see. It's funny. I started reading at the total wrong spot. I did not go in order. But that's okay. Wrinkled forehead, eye movement, stuff like that. Yeah. Even though I've been married for almost 16 years. I do use forehead some of the times. Very cool that you've been married for more than 16 years. That's exciting. Is it more like insecurity or adverse to relationship in general? So it's like, it's more of like a wound because she wants to have it. She's not adverse to it, but she's doing the whole like, which is, I'm not making fun of this. This is very valid to feel this way, but she's like, oh, everyone has left me or I've never been enough for people. So like, I don't think it's gonna work out. Like she doesn't even like think about it because it's like not like no one's gonna like want to be with me, which is why it made her really prone to the toxic relationship that I'm going to like show as part of the biggest issue in the thing. So I guess she's technically like pan romantic. It's just that it was just like an interesting like when looking at her orientation, I think she's like pan through and through, but it's just I don't even think she knew that it was possible, which is going to add to like the romance, I would think. The aspect of the reader discovering who they are, yeah. I'm on the last little section. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna pause and eat food. I'm really thankful that everyone's here. Oh wow, it was right at 2 hour stream. This is very exciting. Okay, cool. How did everybody do before I go? How are you feeling? Maybe you are very in it and I don't want to disturb your work flow, but I got an Instacart order. That's awesome. Didn't get a lot roaded, just 81 words. 81's really good. I think overall I got from this chunk overall, and this is an outline type of thing, so, but I got, of course it's not going to tell me. Wow, 270. That was actually more than I thought I would get. It's pretty good. No, Lefty, I'm sorry. It's right at the end, too. That sucks. Well, I'm thankful everyone was here. Thank you for writing with me and working on stuff and eating and things and being very validating whenever it comes to, you know, bodies and how they work and me being new to streaming and all that stuff. It was fun to hang out with you. Yeah, I enjoyed hanging out. Yay! I updated my agenda and I fed the cats. Excellent. Nourish your children. That's wonderful. Very cool. Well, it was great talking to you. I'll probably see you tomorrow in Jenna's stream. So that'll be really fun. Enjoy my food. Thank you. You enjoy your time, and thank you for hanging out with me. And I'm gonna have Kachoo say goodbye. Whoa! Oh, his claw is stuck. Friend. There we go. Here he is. Bye. Thank you for hanging out.